Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I am Reverend Tiffany, White Sage Woman, and this show is brought to you by TruePsychicsNetwork.com. Just go to TruePsychicsNetwork.com, click on the TP and TV tab, and there is where you'll be able to view a lot of live shows. And also in between live TP and TV shows, you will find replays of previously recorded shows. And also, I do suggest that you check out the radio page as well to see the schedule for the radio shows as well. We have so much to offer on TruePsychicsNetwork.com and want you to make sure that you utilize everything, all the wonderful tools. All right, well, thank you so much. I know last week I didn't have a show. There was a first for me as far as like an emergency healing. I've had someone before that was kind of local going, all right, I need to see you today, please. Okay. This one last week was from out of state, and it was a family, and they came, and they had received some traumatic news, and I'm not, for their confidentiality, I don't discuss any reading or healing sessions. But I just want to say that I was very impressed that their response to this traumatic situation was they knew they had to get rebalanced very quickly. And I really applaud them for taking those necessary steps to do so instead of staying stuck, right? Or reacting and staying stuck in that reaction. I am so very happy. It's like, yay! that they responded that way. And it's just so beautiful. And a great inspiration for us all to, yes, let's respond this way, right? Let's do this. So, very, very beautiful. Welcome everyone in chat. Hello everyone. And if you're watching the show live, you have the opportunity to participate in the chat room. If you're watching the show that is recorded, thank you so much for watching the recorded show. But you're not going to be able to participate in chat. So when you can, try to get in onto a live show so that you can participate in the chat room. It's lots of fun chatting with others while you're watching the show. So anyway, we received about 6 to 8 inches of snow yesterday, and today it's sunny, but it's still cold. So I knew the sun's not going to, unless it's in direct sunlight. The south of the house is going to warm up nice, but it's really not getting warm enough to do anything as far as melting all the snow. And then tomorrow we're due for another snowstorm. And then this weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, some more snow. So I'm sure other places in the country are experiencing the same thing, right? You're like, oh my goodness, we just keep getting snow on top of snow on top of snow, right? And so that's all right. It's all good. Yes, I know. You too, Indiana, huh? Well, in Indiana, Ohio, and all those areas. So crazy, right? But you know what, though? I have to tell you, I love the snow. I really do. I'm a winter baby. I came into this earth plane. I was born in December, the end of December, so I absolutely enjoy it. I enjoy the stillness. I enjoy what winter has to bring to us. And we're going to get more into this, too. Today, we'll talk about this. It's those who don't really like the dark too much, or they feel like it's too much dark. There's a reason why we experience these winter months, and it's really to take care of some things that we needed to take care of. Maybe we just shoved everything into our emotional closet, our spiritual closet, and that we have to take care of it later. No, we really need to take care and clean up during the winter months. And I'm talking about going inside, taking care of our spiritual things, our emotional, all those types of things. Because if they are left unattended, they run amok. And usually what happens is our bodies then will get something that will say, hey, we have a problem here. So, all right. Well, today, February 4th, is my little brother's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to my brother David, because I have 2 little brothers. But David is the oldest of the brothers. So happy birthday, David. He is 5 years behind me. But he's still my little brother. So there you go. See, do a show on your birthday. And then of course we'll go over the number of the day. Today being February 4th, 2014. We take, in numerology, we take all the numbers down to a single digit. So the month of February is 2. The day is 4. The year is a 7. If you were to add 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So that's how we get that for the year 2014. So just know that 2014 has a 7 vibration. 7's a very spiritual vibration. So this is a really intense spiritual year for us all. As you thought that the last 2 years were, check this out. We'll have this conversation again next year, this time. Right? All right, so we would add it up. 2 plus 4 plus 7 equals 13. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. All right, so it's kind of interesting. We always seem to hit like a 2 or a 4 type of energy vibration day. But 4. It is normally a day when you'll be busy and productive. Spending time and effort working in the right direction can net you some financial gains for you. So it is a demanding day that will require a lot of focus, and don't procrastinate. This is not a day for starting new projects, all right, but rather just to move forward, move ahead on things that are already in progress. Things that you've already started, let's go ahead and complete this now. There's going to be plenty of power to do so behind that. All right. So we always seem to have like a 4 vibration or a 2 vibration, don't we? Pretty interesting. Hey, that's fine. We'll take it. High energy day. Yay! Get stuff done. Potential for financial. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll take that. All right. So the theme and topic today to discuss in a little bit is healing angels and aliens. Healing angels and aliens. And before we get into this topic, I want to discuss really this crystal of the week and the power animal of the week. Okay. The crystal and gemstone of the week is malachite. Malachite. Beautiful, beautiful malachite. So let's see. I have a little piece here on my desk. Malachite. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Malachite is a deep healing crystal which can help you on your path of balancing your emotions. There is a long list of characteristics of what it can do for you spiritually and physically. I'm just going to mention this one because I feel like it's right in line with what we're going to discuss today. All right, so it is a deep healing crystal which can help you on your path of balancing your emotions. Malachite. All right, that beautiful deep green crystal. All right, let me shuffle my notes here. Okay, power animal. The power animal of the week was so adorable when it appeared. I was just like, oh, you know, you just want to do this. Oh, it's so cute. But it's a sloth. Sloth, if I'm saying it correctly. I can butcher a word. Just give it to me and I'll just butcher it. Anyway, it's a cute little animal. Hangs in the tree. A sloth. Alright, the great characteristics of the sloth here is seeing the world upside down. Remember when we used to do this as kids? Hang upside down, get a different perspective on something? Sometimes we just have to do that. So if something stumps you, it's a situation that stumps you, go to that inner playground, that inner child. Get on those little monkey bars there and flip upside down and look at it from a different way. Maybe you're missing something by staring at it too long from one point of view. All right. Another characteristic is wisdom of moving slowly. Slowly. Understanding the tree spirits. Oh, that's always beautiful. I love that. Yes. Tree spirits. Nature. Always so beautiful. And you have to be in great harmony with that, right? When you're living up there in those great heights. Every step you take, you have to be in harmony, don't you? Otherwise, you're going to fall. And here we go. Understanding when to use tenacity. When to hold on firmly. Now, you hear a lot about, okay, you've got to recognize when it's time to let go and move on. But there also are times when you need to hold on firmly. All right, and to just be able to distinguish. All right, and then the value of laziness. Yes, the value of laziness. Right? Stillness. Now, unfortunately, my sons have always, I homeschooled my sons all through preschool to high school graduation, college prep. So they really got a lot because I wanted them to explore their own spirituality. I didn't want them to have anything that was learned belief system. I wanted them to have something that they awakened and recognized within themselves. So I let them discover who they are. And so in this whole thing about the value of laziness, if I would call my youngest son, who is a Leo, he is a lazy Leo, but I call him that. Clean your room, you lazy Leo. He'll go, I'm not lazy. I'm meditating. I'm in silence. So it's just kind of funny. All right, don't use that. Don't use that excuse. But there is truth to that too, right? Absolutely there is. So we do have that value of laziness, the stillness. So thank you. Again, the crystal of the week is malachite and the animal is sloth. Sloth. Am I saying that right? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, and I apologize too if I start sneezing or coughing during the show. I was okay. The last week, my sons again started to feel sore throats, and then my husband, and then it's kind of like, no, you try to run and hide from it, right? But if you're in the same house, it finds you. And so even my poor dog was coughing. She's okay now. She was just coughing for a day. And I think when I put the humidifier, so on, everyone's starting to feel better. I'm reading stuff in chat that's cute. I know I am hanging around too much with the words. Oh, too funny. But I have to tell you, how many of us grew up and we had a hard time? English is hard. It's a very hard language. Those of us who've had a lot of past lives, when we come in, it's like, what? It wasn't until I realized that I took Spanish in high school that I understood that I had a Spanish past life, because to this day I will take the vowels and say a word like I'm trying to say a Spanish word. I will say the Spanish vowels instead of the English. So that helped me to understand and realize how I was butchering. And then you have other past lives too that can come in there and just totally, English is a very hard language. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. So yes, thank you. Foxy she's feeling better. I was kind of concerned. She just coughed for a day. And like I said, once I realized that, because I'm always burning incense. I love incense. Maybe it's a little dry, and then with the radiator heat. So I have a humidifier going, and then I like to put what I call my witch's brew on the stove. And what that is there's a pot that's designated just for this brew, because it can stain it, because I put cinnamon sticks in it. But I get a good size, medium sized pot like this to put on the stove. I fill it with water. I put 1 or 2 cinnamon sticks in it, and I put rosemary oil, but you can use fresh rosemary herb, or the dried, I should say, dried rosemary herb. You could put in some dried thyme, and then I'll put in like 10 drops of peppermint oil, 10 drops of eucalyptus oil. It's like I said, if you don't have the dried rosemary herbs, then I have rosemary oil, put 10 drops of that. And you just let it slow simmer on the stove all day. And it does steam. It steams up nicely. And it helps you to breathe. It really opens you up. And so someone that's really clogged, I'll have them go with a towel. And be careful now, because you're over a stove, right? So you take a towel, drape it over your head, and just let this inhale the steam. And again, please, don't get so close that you burn your face either, all right? So, yeah, just kind of inhale all that steam. And so, yes, I've heard that too. Rosemary does improve memory. So that's a beautiful benefit. It is very great with healing, rosemary oil is. And so, try that. Put these oils on. And it's really good. It says some humidifiers now have a space where you can put little drops of oil, and you can do that. For the one upstairs, the humidifier, we have an electric one upstairs for overnight, and I'll put eucalyptus and lavender. And very nice. It helps open you up, and then also with sleeping and being able to rest, right? So, yeah, okay, Mom, I know, right? No face burning. Well, you have to put some of these little cautions on here. You never know who's actually going to try it. And I burned my face! No! Anyway. Too funny. Alright, so the topic for today, healing angels and aliens. I actually got into a discussion yesterday on one of the boards about angels and aliens, and I was like, okay, everyone's entitled to their own beliefs, to their own, and that's fine. They believe whatever they want to, right? Everyone has their own ideas and experiences with angels and aliens, and I totally embrace everyone's different beliefs, and that's okay. All right. I just want to explain a little bit more about how I work as well. Okay? I never called the aliens aliens. That was a learned word. I used to call them light beings. Always have since I was very young. The word alien was taught to me and was learned in school and from others' ideas of what an alien is. And thank you, Hollywood and sci-fi books and movies. It was a part of this learning process or taught patterns as far as what an alien is, right? And I'm not knocking, please don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking sci-fi at all. It was my great escape route. It really was. I loved to read when I was young. And ironically, there is a lot of truth in sci-fi. We get people who have these really great, very vivid dreams or insight, and they don't want to come off as being crazy. So what do? They write a story and they just say it's fiction. So that way they don't get thrown in the loony bin. I'm serious though. You have to be careful, protect yourselves, right? So, that kind of thing. But I loved to read growing up. It was part of my escape. Reading, daydreaming, astral traveling, conversing with other beings. That was my school. I got more out of that. I challenged school. Any of the teachers tried to tell me something. I'm like, and who is this from? Who wrote this? Whose story is this? Whose opinion is this? I used to frustrate the teachers because I would ask way too many questions that they could not answer. As a matter of fact, I think I frustrated a lot of people because I would ask them questions they couldn't answer, including, religious ministers and pastors. But that's all right. Hey, had to march to the beat of my own drum. No, I was never the teacher's favorite either. But my benefit, or the thing that I had that worked for me, was that I was a female, and I would bring chocolate bars. Forget the apple. I would bring my teachers candy bars, Snickers bar. Here you go. Just leave it on the desk for them. and then let them figure out who gave it to them. They got pretty good, and they realized who it was. And then and to tell you, I was so bored in school. Yeah, I know, right? Go right for the throat, the chocolate. I was so bored in school, not realizing I should have been in a little bit higher classes. But school bored me absolutely to tears. I could catch on to a subject very quick, and I felt like then we were moving too slow. Why are we having to rehash this? Because these people over here don't understand. I mean, I can understand for a teacher's point of view, you have to make sure every student gets it. But I was absolutely bored out of my mind. And I would skip school. I'm going to tell you, yes, my sons know. I was like, I'm bored. You have nothing to teach me that I don't already know. I'm out of here. I want to go spend the time outside. I want to go spend it, if it was during the summertime, go to the beach. I would get far away from school as possible. And yes, on the days, it wasn't always with nature. There was times when, a group of us would go hang out at someone's house and watch MTV, when MTV was MTV. So, I'm being honest here. But if the weather was nice, I was out in nature. If not, I was in front of MTV. So anyway, all right. I was always aware when I was younger of whom I was communicating with. Always, always. All right. So another thing too is that in all of my communication with angels, I didn't used to see angels with wings. All right. I never used to see angels before going to church. Before I was taken to church, I never saw the angels with wings. And I could tell the difference in the light beings. The angels are always the tallest and more massive of the light beings. And they have a different vibration. It's a sound. It is a very beautiful sound. It's almost like, for me, I can hear a choir singing. And each angel has a different chord. It's just really beautiful. Sometimes it's hard to put into words. And then the other light beings are still light beings, but they were smaller. They were on a small scale of that. And when I'm saying these light beings, I'm talking those that haven't had a life on this earth plane. All right? That are alien to us. Right? Aliens. Some people in the chat, they are so funny. Well, you have to... The people that I was communicating with and I still communicate with, they don't have bodies. We didn't used to have bodies before this earth plane. We didn't have bodies. We had light bodies. All right, Al. Here's a little something for you. All right. We have to wear these suits to survive on this earth plane. These earth suits. And people joke, oh, we have to have space suits on. Right? Understand that Earth is a huge garden. We're living inside a garden. So in order to live in this type of atmosphere, we had to create Earth suits, so to speak, right? To really embrace it. Because with our light bodies embracing it, it was like a hologram. It was like somehow some of us our dreams may appear to us. And there was also this saying, and I've done a lot of research on is Atlantis. And the only one that really resonates with my memories of Atlantis is Edgar Cayce. All right. And there was a couple of other people I've connected with in the UK too who is very similar to this. But Atlantis was one of the 5 tribes that was put onto this earth. All right. Trying to remember all of them. I know Lemuria, Atlantis, and Africa. I do believe like in Russia or the Middle East, and then I think another place, or South America, if I'm trying to remember correctly here, all the 5. But the ones that are responsible for why we keep coming back here is because of Atlantis. All right, this is where we messed up. This is where we turned our backs from who we are as divine light beings, and said, we've got the power. We can procreate, right? I mean, we can have babies. We can make, so we have all this power. What do we need anyone else for? We're going to survive on our own. So how's this survival working for us? Thousands and thousands of years of war, fighting. Who's stronger than the other? Who's got the most this? Who's got the most that? That's really working for us, isn't it? No, it's not. All right. And many of us knew this. Many of us knew this a long time ago, that we were going to come back to this and come back to the light. We can leave these bodies and go back to our light bodies. All right. Are there different types of beings? Sure, there's all sorts of different types of beings. The beings in this solar system look different from the beings in the other the solar systems beyond. All right. Just like the angels that protect this earth realm and the angels that are assigned to, like there's other sides, there's different heavens, so to speak. Each planet has a heaven. And then there's the one huge planet, the huge other side, so to speak, which is where people say that Yeshua came from. Absolutely true. Where a lot of us have come from, where one of the races came from. And I'm not real good with the names on where we came from, because it's, again, really, the words are meaningless when we're in those upper vibrations. They're sounds. It's a vibration. It truly is. All right? And so sometimes, and I understand we need to have these words to be able to communicate, but sometimes the words can divide as well. Because if I'm meaning something else, and you're taking it this way, how's this communication working? Right? And so, but that's how we are. It's all right. Celestial, terrestrial, all these different terms that we have. Okay? And so, let me get back to my train of thought here, because I'm here and they're all around it. Okay, wait a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Hold on. Yes, yeah. There's a lot that I've held back on from saying. Not because I don't want to offend anyone. All right. And also because it's the truth is coming. The truth is being revealed slowly, more and more and more. We're going to find this year is going to be very pivotal, and next year for ancient truths resurfacing. Now, no scholar is going to be able to read these ancient truths. It's going to take those in the spiritual realm to be able to access these truths. Do you understand that? Let me say that again. No learned scholar is going to be able to understand any ancient recordings that are still buried and that will be discovered. It's going to take those who are spiritually evolved, those of us who work. It's not so much really how working on our spirituality, it's who we are every day. All right? We're the ones who are going to be able to decipher, so to speak, to understand. Things have to be hidden. But they don't have to anymore. More and more the truth is coming, is being recognized. The truth can't be killed or suffocated. It won't go away. It just waits for the perfect time and come back again, right? It just keeps coming back. So, anyway. We were talking about the angels and the aliens. So, I have always I had these great conversations with angels and these light beings. They had helped me, and of course with spirit. Spirit would come at me, and there was a particular time when I asked to stop seeing spirit so much because it was too crowded. Now, all the different layers of, I'm seeing spirit, I'm seeing people in spirit, I'm seeing, human beings, I'm seeing those in spirit in their different forms, I'm seeing these light beings, I'm seeing these angels, it was so overwhelming for me that I asked for them to tone it back. And for another reason as well, is because when loved ones would come visit, I would share this with others, and they didn't want to hear it. They really did not want to hear it. And it really upset my mom. So, just I guess to make everyone happy, I stopped. I wanted it to stop. So I asked to stop seeing spirit like I could see a human being standing next to me. All right, to stop seeing them that clear. And so they did. They took that away from me. But what I found was that the knowing kicked in and was being overdriven. All right, so it was, which is fine too. They think that only the stubborn people really can embrace the knowing, because we're the ones that are like, if we can say something that we know and someone goes, that's crazy, we're like, I don't care what you believe. So, well, come on. Really, we have to be that strong. And it's you're not going to upset me if you don't agree with me at all, right? But there's a reason why we are these torches of knowledge. The torches, those who, what they call that? Is it claircognizance? The one who's knowing is their strongest gift. We definitely are the light barriers, because there's no one who's going to make us think differently, because we know differently. All right, we kept a lot of things quiet. There are some things. I did grow up. We're all spiritual first. You have to know that, because we're all still very much connected. And when you're young, people might think that children can be fooled very easily. And this is why I was like, I always knew who I was communicating with when I was young. You cannot fool a child. A child knows what spirit they're talking to. They know with whom they're speaking with. All right? And so, just because you may think that they're naive, they're not naive. Let me ask you this. So, and to kind of prove this point, I was shown this example. So you have a family member who wants to prove that children are naive, whether it's an uncle, an older somebody, right? And so they go to the children and let's do this magic trick. And they come back, see, I told you. Well, no, you have an advantage because they know you. They trust you, right? They trust you not to trick them, and you trick them. But with spirit, I have to tell you, kids are very, very smart, and they know immediately the intention behind anyone coming to visit. The intention. And to this day, you hold on to that. You can know the intention. What's your intention? This is how animals see. This is how I communicate with animals. All right? And it's a fun experiment. I think I've said this before. You have dogs, you have cats. Cats will be kind of like entertained for maybe 30 seconds, and then they're like, yeah, whatever. I'm not playing with you, you play with me, that kind of thing. Or cats just take a totally different approach to playing than dogs. So try this experiment with dogs. If you don't have any dogs, try someone else's dog. But find a dog that likes to play with toys. And now with cats, you can do this if you have yarn. Okay? Because I did try this with the kitten just recently. Now, dogs, cats, any animals will see intention of, if I'm going to throw this ball, you thinking it is creating that attention. I'm going to throw it over here to the right. Guess what? You just told the dog where you're throwing it. You don't realize that. Thinking it is creating the blueprint, was creating this attention which they're tapped into. So they are stanced. They're ready. They're ready for it to go to the right. So that when you throw it, that's why they're like right there. And you're like, wow, how did you know? Because they read intention. All right? Absolutely they do. They knew the move because you take too long. So what I would do, have fun with my baby now on the other side with Apollo. He liked to do this with me. Was that I would test. It was fun. I would stand still with a toy, clear where I was going to throw it. I mean, and this takes absolute, and then just when I, with no direction, no intention of where this is going, and just release, it caught him off guard. All right? And so it was just a fun experiment. Just to show you that animals do rely, and that the whole point of that experiment is to show you that animals do rely on attention. Okay, so well, we were so open like that as children too, with the intention and those of us who hold on to that can hold on to your gifts and know what the intent is of messages, loved ones that's coming around you, or anyone that wants to visit, and you know that intention. All right, you can do this with some cats, but I find cats are so smart. They really are. You can, okay, I'm going to do. You may fool them once, but that's it. All right, and then cats will get bored with you. Like, really, that's all you got, human? Huh? Go get me something to eat. You know. But anyway, they are very smart. But you find that does work with dogs, with wolves, and Sinlu and Chat. You even had an experience where you met a pack of wolves, and you communicated with them in this way, not just telepathically, but they knew your intention. It's a very beautiful story. You should share on Facebook again your story with the wolves. Very, very beautiful. So, all right. So, circles of protection too. Very spiritual grandparents, even though they were involved in the church, they were still very spiritual. My paternal grandparents were Catholic, again, very spiritual. My maternal grandfather, he was the Master Mason. All right, and I can tell you, because I joined a little organization for the teenage girls. They're either the Rainbow Girls or Job's Daughters. And in the South, it was Job's Daughters. And so get to learn a lot about Eastern Star, Job's Daughters, and the Masons. They are greatly misunderstood. Greatly misunderstood. All right? And so the secret that they've been trying to hold and keep and maintain is that we are divine. We have a divine connection because we are divine beings. We are connected to God. Each and every one of us have that connection. And no one can control you when you know that, when you step into your own power. And so it's absolutely very beautiful. They do cloak it with some type of mystery to keep the people out, the naysayers, to keep those who want to test. I totally understand all that. But anyway, my maternal grandfather and my mother was concerned about me being taken. I never understood this for the longest time when I was young. I thought my mom was being completely, we didn't get along, she was being overprotective. I didn't understand what was going on. It didn't dawn on me till later, until, when I put the stubbornness aside and was, all right, let's communicate now and let's talk to my grandfather when I was a little bit older. And then even in spirit and having a conversation with my mom and just realizing she was scared of me being taken. And that happened a lot. A lot of kids, it's still happening. And that's all I'm going to say. but specific kids being targeted and taken. And because I knew so much and would open my mouth to say things, that's what she didn't want me to do. She thought that if I was quiet, it kept me safe. So my grandparents did the circle of protection around me, calling in the angels and just this protection. And interestingly enough, once we become parents, don't we do the same thing to our children? Calling in legions of angels. And I have to tell you, you do have your angels that are assigned to you, so to speak. But the rest of the angels wait for you to ask. Do you know that? They have to have permission. Because they just don't want to bombard you. So right now, no matter what you're doing, give permission to be surrounded by legions of angels. And it doesn't matter which kinds. They know. Angels know what one needs to show up and help you with the task at hand. Alright? So yes, give permission to be bombarded. Absolutely. For the rest of my life, I give permission to have a circle of angels around me. And it's an infinite number. Our minds can't even comprehend how many angels there are. We really just can't. So circles of protection. I've done this with my children. And I even do this with strangers, and I have to tell you. We see someone in need, put the circle of protection around them. In traveling, or if I'm on the road and I see a car pulled off to the side, I'll put a circle of protection and ask angels to help them. Even if, now check this out, help them, no matter who it is, even if they have a karmic debt that they're repaying for being broken on the side of the road, let's hope that this debt is going to be smooth, right? It's going to be a smooth one for them. We're just giving them some energy to make better choices, right? To make a more positive choice. Okay? But we can put the circle of protection around our animals. Absolutely. Land, trees, our loved ones. May have noticed a lot of this, and I wish they would call it what it is. It's not really a protest. They should rename any protest that a Native American is involved in is not a protest. It's a blessing. Understand what they're doing. They know that they can't stop what's going to happen, but they delay it to have a blessing ceremony with their drums and their chanting and their singing, and it's going down into the earth, and each footstep, each dance step is a kiss, a blessing to the earth. All right? The music comes from us. All out in every direction is a blessing. We're blessing this land. You're also letting the land know you're getting ready to get ripped into, whether it's for gas or whether it's for oil. But we're blessing you now and letting the earth prepare and do what she needs to do. Maybe earth needs to, I'm going to move this water line over here, the stream. I'm going to move this. I'm going to do this. The earth does prepare, believe it or not, if she has some notice. So this blessing gives notice to everyone in nature what's going to happen. And at the same time, you are hopefully touching the hearts of those workers who are probably in a hard spot of, if I don't do this, I lose my job, then how can I help my family? Right? So, and give them the blessing. Give them the blessing as well. And you also may find some that just, I'm not going to do this, and walk away. All right? So, it's not a protest. Let's call it what it really is. It's a blessing. But that's powerful. Saying a protest is like become a dirty word. It's illegal to protest. It's not illegal to bless. No. Because you should never, ever get in the way with someone's spiritual beliefs and try to make it a law. Because you have totally crossed lines of humanity at that point. You've just totally lost your mind. All right, absolutely. Blessings are commands which are much higher than any control. All right, so absolutely. And you don't have to be in Canada, or you don't have to be anywhere where this is happening, whether it's in any parts of the world. You can do this right in your own sacred space. and send it there. Very, very powerful. You don't realize how powerful you are. We can send this blessing out. All right? Blessings. Just remove the word protest. It's a blessing. It is a peaceful ceremony. Okay? So, there we go. All right. Wow, I just got on and on with this. All right, my healing techniques, which you can expect when you schedule a healing session with me. I used to consider myself more of a healer than a psychic medium. After all, I knew I was a healer in my youth and always been driven to the healing arts for as a part of who I am, as it is a part of each of you. All right? It is a part of each of you. It just needs to be awakened. All right? But I remember when I was younger, it said I wanted to be a healer, and people would pat me on my head. Oh, that's so cute. You mean you want to be a nurse? Why? Because I'm a female? If I was a male, would you say I wanted to be a doctor? Like, no. A healer. They didn't know or understand what that meant. All right? But they wanted me, because they didn't know what that meant, to conform to words that they understood. Why do we do this to children? We need to stop. We can learn a lot from children, especially these kids coming in now. All right? They have more strands of DNA. Don't drug them. Don't try to bring them down to a body that's in a model of a medical book that was probably made in the late 1800s, early 1900s, right? Come on. We have evolved so much. We have evolved and changed so much as human beings that old, ancient model of medicine is outdated. It really is. It's outdated. And that's a truth they don't want to come out, because it's like, we have no idea what we're doing? Don't lose hope and faith, because many healers coming in will go into the field of nursing and doctors, and they're the ones that have not lost their compassion. And they truly honor the harm none rule, the oath that they take as doctors. All right? So, the path of an awakened healer is, if you are a medium, let's say you grew up just as a medium, you have to have a spiritual or religious platform. What do you experience as this to get to that healing part? All right? When you're a psychic medium, the same process. What experiences do you have? How does your gifts mesh with what you're being taught? Whether it's religion. I agree, I don't agree. You have that kind of experience or that battle. And then you can finally get to that healer state. The reason I am saying this as far as the path and going through this is that you go to a psychic medium for a reading. It's not guaranteed you're going to get a healing. I feel you should, though, but it's not guaranteed you're going to get a healing in that process. You go to a healer for a healing session. You are going to get a reading. You're going to get messages because you're already there in that vibration, right? And it's so much deeper. It really is. I absolutely encourage everyone who's a psychic medium to, one, make sure you are standing on a spiritual foundation, that you are building on a spiritual foundation, all right? And encourage you to explore the healing arts as well. And entwine it and become it a part of the whole healing package that you have to offer. Because reading should be healings. We should all be tapping into that same vibration, to that same dimension. People should walk away from getting a reading feeling like they got a healing. All right? All right. So, and that's a lot of us. These old souls are coming back with healers. Sure, we're putting ourselves in the psychic medium realm. Because however we give healings, right? You utilize all the gifts of sight and knowing. So, how I heal, I don't see what's wrong, or I should say assist in healing. It's not me. I'm just opening up. How I assist in healing. If someone comes in, I'll check their chakras. And it doesn't matter what healing modality you have studied. Your unique healing abilities are going to come through. So it really doesn't, it shouldn't matter if you embrace a certain, like say Reiki. Do you have to know all these symbols? If they resonate with them, use them. If they resonate with you, use them. If they don't resonate with you, don't force it. You should never force anything in healing. Because if you have to force it, it's going to be a distraction for you opening up completely to a healing session. And you're robbing not only the person you're giving a healing to, but you're robbing yourself. All right? So don't get stuck or hung up on technique, procedure, symbols. Am I doing this right? Because we all have our own symbols. And they can be beautiful symbols. It can be the tree of life. It can be a heart. Whatever symbol is very powerful for you, use that. Utilize it. Be a lighthouse, a picture of a lighthouse. Whatever symbol resonates with you. All right? And it is truly just opening it up. Now, when you open up like that, and you're going into these upper vibrations, and I'm talking a high, even you can feel yourself lifting up to the upper vibrations. You're taking them with you, of course. Now, and I'm talking energetically, not physically picking them up. So now, you and this person in this healing session are up in the upper vibration. Something beautiful happens. In the upper vibrations, guess what? We are looking at ourselves in a perfect light. Free from the illusion of these human bodies. Dis-ease is an illusion. So we're going up into these upper vibrations, and we're there, and the person is aware of what's going on with them. I truly get it now. I understand. It's not just in my body. This is how it's affecting me mentally and spiritually, and now I know how to take care of it. And together, because as soon as I start to, what happens in upper vibrations is see the person as a light in the light body, and anything that does not belong, like the disease, becomes black spots, black speckles, and it starts to separate and pull. That's the illusion. Magic trick is floating. All right? Cool. Great. Keep doing that. Pull. It's energy. You can move energy. Move that energy away from them. Right? Move it away. So this is where the healing takes place, is in these upper vibrations. And with absolutely the angels, and I call them like the healing, the light beings that are healers. They'll come in, and I've seen surgery taking place. It's like they push me aside. Let's move over. We'll take over. And because we're not in our light bodies to perform those types of surgeries, to perform those type of procedures. All right? Where they actually, I've seen organs being replaced. And it's beautiful, most beautiful experience to see that happen. It's like they're using, and it's lights, lasers. All right, there's really no cutting as much as it is manipulating the energy. And I hope that understand. Hope you can understand that. But it is just moving energy, not so much a cut like a knife. But it's a very beautiful process to watch it. It's just so I'm mesmerized. Yes, I'm still useful part because I'm standing there and holding that energy, holding that space. I'm participating. I'm there. All right? And so keeping that channel open for them. And so it's a very beautiful, that's what you experience with me in that process of healing. Right? Exactly. A cut is an illusion. That's right. Separating molecules, really. And that it is. Because I've never seen a cut be taking place. It's like I see the beam of light go in, but it's not, it's penetrating the skin, but not cutting the skin. Do you understand? But yet I see stuff can come out. It's hard to find the right words to explain what you see. But it does happen. And it's very beautiful. And just know that you are participating at such a high level of healing. And people will people are starting to refer to me around this area as an angel healer, because they experience the angels all around them. And it also, too, depends on what your belief system is. All right? And so, and I tell them, I am just assisting in this. All right? And I'm honored to assist in the healing process. Always. This is what we're all here for. If we can help show each other that we really do have this power to assist our own bodies. Our bodies know what to do to heal. We just need to stop getting in our own way, right? And so it's just helping each other to know this. It's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So, this is just reading a comment in chat. I think this is why I'm learning things the hard way, so I can better teach them. It's not so much the hard way. We absolutely have to walk in the dark to understand the complete whole. The balanced being is compromised of what we consider opposites, the whole, the dark and the light, right, together. So I didn't want people to think too that I've just got my head in the clouds, and just because I've always communicated with angels, that I've never walked in the dark. No, healers have to know. Healers, shamans, there's shamanic death. We all have been there, and it's exploring that beautiful part of ourselves to help facilitate that healing. Healing can't happen if you deny certain parts of yourself. So you have to explore. It's not so much the hard way. It's the thorough way. Crab, not the hard way, the thorough. You're being thorough. Pat yourself on the back. Now, to show you too that not all light beings are light, I'm going to show you something. Oh, excuse me. I have come to recognize I have a master guide who is a light being. And he has not had a life on this earth plane. His name is Andrew. All right. Now, sometimes I would see him in my dreams manifest like this. But I'm never scared of him. But more than anything, I recognize his vibration. And Andrew was very cold because, like space, think of like a space alien, right, so to speak. I would get very, very cold, and I would know that he was around. And also, too, he would give the scent of roses. I could smell roses every once in a while. And it was just to further let you know, because sometimes, and I'm telling you, I'm experiencing less and less ghosts hanging out. More people are crossing over ever than before. Spirit, by the way. But if spirit came to me, it was very cold. And it was that kind of cold, but not. It was different. This is space cold. A shivering to the bone. I can't get warm. And we've learned to have a really, okay, don't make me that cold, and I'll know that it's you. I want to show you. This is a spirit artist who used to belong to True Psychics Network. And she channeled him, or drew, I should say. Actually, this is the painting. She painted Andrew. Now, she was mortified of what she was. She thought it felt high vibrational, but when she put it on paper, she couldn't understand what she put on there. And she probably thought that, oh, you have dark people around you. You have dark beings around you. And I was like, that's Andrew. He's not dark. Well, he may have manifested that way for you to capture him. But that's not how he shows up to me. He shows up not in human form, but in light form. And you have to think about this, though. If we want to capture them in a drawing or in any kind of artwork, they have to manifest. So I think it's actually kind of cool because he looks like a space alien, doesn't he? He looks like what we would consider an alien. And if you weren't brought up with that, your first thought is, I'm scared. It's bad. Just because it's a dark picture doesn't mean that the being is dark, right? Dark's not always bad. This is what the point I'm trying to get across here. All right? So, I hope you have enjoyed the show. And if you have any questions, of course, contact me. You can find me on Facebook, Goldylocks Temple of Healing on Facebook. My website is whitesagewoman.com. Also, something new on my website is if you would like to sign up for a newsletter. I have a newsletter that goes out like every other day, and I put a lot of good learning things in there too. So if you're already familiar with me, just bear with me for the first 3 emails. They may seem kind of repetitious, but it's just to get you to know me and where you can find me on social networks. And then it gets into some of the learning, and I share articles that I've written with you as well. So just be sure to check that out. And thank you so much for spending this last hour with me and sitting in sacred space. I am very honored to be with each and every one of you. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, right here on TPN TV. Many blessings.